Welcome to my latest Mayor's Monthly Update. Recent events. Over the last week of August, the Village of Orland Park Police Department hosted the Illinois Special Olympics bike ride. Additionally, the village hosted the Veterans Golf Outing, where the proceeds benefit veterans groups and the Veterans Commission. This outing dates back to the 1960s with Mayor Dugan. Since then, every mayor has had the privilege of choosing the beneficiaries of this charity golf outing, and it is my pleasure to support veterans groups. Thank you to all of the volunteers in our police department, ESDA, Recreation, the Veterans Commission, and other departments of the village for making these events so successful. Also, Clerk O'Sullivan recently resigned from his position because he moved out of Orland Park. By Illinois state law, the vacancy created is to be filled by the mayor appointing a clerk and the board approving that appointment. The appointment lasts until the next scheduled municipal election, which is April of 2025, which also happens to be the end of the clerk's term. It was my privilege to appoint Brian Gaspardo, husband, father, and a longtime Orland Park resident, to village clerk. Brian is a CPA and a managing partner at his accounting firm and has a Bachelor of Arts in Economics from Harvard, graduating magna cum laude, and an MBA from the University of Chicago with honors. Our annual police report is out. I am proud to say that the last 5 years have the lowest index crimes of the 30 years it has been tracked. Also, it was recently reported that out of the 360 largest suburbs in the U.S., Orland Park was number 2 in lowest property crime rate and number 5 in lowest violent crime rate per capita. Also, at our most recent board meeting, we held the required public hearings on the new Downtown Triangle TIF, as well as the modifications to the existing TIF. In total, we have had over a dozen public meetings on these projects and these TIFs. You can learn more about TIFs and this project on the village website, but it's important to note that there are many laws in place regarding how money generated from TIF developments can be spent. Addressing current myths. While we are on the subject of TIFs, the most recent myth is that I ran for office in opposition of TIFs, which is 100% false. TIFs are one of the few economic development tools that the village has available, where the development self-generates the incentives to support the project. And I have worked with mayors throughout the state to ensure TIFs remain an option for communities. Like anything, a TIF can be implemented well or implemented poorly. Unfortunately, the prior administration made many critical mistakes with the Triangle TIF established in 2004, including establishing a TIF with no plan, establishing a TIF without having landowners involved in the development. The 2004 TIF money was used to buy out landowners, building roads, street, storm sewer, and other infrastructure with no development plan, borrowing $64 million to build apartment buildings while the developer invested only $1 million, placing a not-for-profit U of C in a TIF. While having U of C in Orland is great, the idea of a TIF is to use new property taxes to help fund the development, and a non-for-profit pays no property tax. Aside from the new downtown TIF, which will break ground a month or so after the TIF is established, there are 3 other TIFs being considered that have a long way to go until approval. 1, the old Andrew property. There is still remediation on the site, which is very costly, and in the village's interest to get this cleanup done. The TIF can help pay for this. 2, 159th Street in LaGrange. The primary reason for a TIF at this location is to connect Ravinia to the north to LaGrange Road and to finish the light at the intersection that has already been established at LaGrange Road. 3, 143rd and John Humphrey, the old Terry's Lincoln Mercury site. The primary reason for using a TIF at this location is to repair the intersection at 143rd and John Humphrey, which will cost nearly $10 million. When the village took jurisdiction from IDOT, IDOT had constructed a land bridge at this intersection that is now failing. Since the village has jurisdiction, we must repair it. Upcoming events and issues. In the coming months, the board will entertain changes to our code to more actively oversee rental properties, and will also be working on the 2025 budget. On September 21st, you can come to the Village Hall at 9 a.m. for breakfast with the mayor. I will answer questions about the village until the attendees run out of questions. On October 5th, we will host a great pumpkin party at Centennial Park. I hope you all have a great September, and I look forward to talking to you next month.